and my name is Kriti Mehta. Welcome to today's segment of Quick Morning, where we delve into the latest news and updates from across the country and around the world to set the tone for your day. Now, from tracking the Waqf Bill's report in Lok Sabha today to Trudeau's retaliatory tariffs, stay tuned as we bring you the ground realities of some of these developments and also stories from the realms of business, sports and entertainment and our jam-packed line-up for this quick morning. So let's kickstart today's Mega News Day here on Republic, as always, with the nation first, this quick morning. The report of the Joint Committee on the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 is slated to be presented in the Lok Sabha today. According to the list of business, Jagdambika Pal, the chairman of the JPC on the Waqf Bill, along with BJP MP Sanjay Jaiswal, will present the report in both Hindi and English versions of the Joint Committee on the Waqf Bill.
मुझे लगता है इस बिल को एक्ट बनना चाहिए और बहुत जल्दी बनना चाहिए इसको कानून। सालों साल से आप देखिए क्या कुछ हो रहा है इसमें। और जो पहला वक्फ बोर्ड जब गठन हुआ था 1954 में, उसके बाद आप देखिए 95 में जब इसको अमेंड करके जो नया बिल लाया गया, संशोधन किया गया, इसने असीमित पावर दे रखा है वक्फ बोर्ड को और उसके ट्राइब्यूनल को।
And Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Sunday lashed out at the Aam Aadmi Party, accusing them of excelling in spreading Maya Jal and asserting that no other party in the country could match their skills in this. He highlighted the importance of the Delhi Assembly elections, stating that the BJP aims to see development in the national capital progress at the same rate as the rest of India. Making an emotional outreach to the people, he said that the BJP didn't get the chance it deserved to serve Delhi.
चाहे आम आदमी पार्टी हो, चाहे वो कांग्रेस पार्टी हो, दोनों की सरकारों के कामकाज के तौर तरीकों को आपने देखा है। जहां तक आम आदमी पार्टी का प्रश्न है, आप जानते हैं माया जाल फैलाने में जितनी माहिर आम आदमी पार्टी के नेता हैं, शायद हिंदुस्तान के किसी भी पार्टी का नेता माया जाल फैलाने में उतना माहिर नहीं होगा।
The high-octane campaign for the Delhi Assembly polls is set to conclude today, with all major parties making last-ditch efforts to the voters. The campaign, which lasted for over 3 weeks, saw intense clashes between the Aam Aadmi Party, the BJP and the Congress. The Aam Aadmi Party, led by Arvind Kejriwal, is seeking to retain power, while the BJP is eyeing a comeback in the national capital. The Congress, which has been struggling to regain its foothold in Delhi, is hoping to make a significant impact. And Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge on Sunday announced the formation of an empowered action group of leaders with immediate effect to monitor the conduct of free and fair elections by the Election Commission of India. The committee will initially focus on the issue of manipulation in the Maharashtra voter list and will submit a detailed report to the leadership at the earliest. Jammu and Kashmir Students Association has appealed to External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar for urgent intervention in the case of Abdul Rafi Baba, a Kashmiri engineer imprisoned in Saudi Arabia for over 4 years under unclear circumstances. Now, Abdul Rafi Baba was arrested on 1st in 2020 while working at King Faisal University in Hufuf. His family remains unaware of the charges, though they are suggesting that his arrest may be linked to internal company disputes.
We have been tracking this incident for a pretty long time, but unfortunately we could not communicate, we could not track the family of the concerned person, this Abdul Rafiq Baba Saab. So 2 days back I came to know that he has been in jail for a period of for past 5 years.
Since how long he has been living in Saudi Arabia?
He has been inside jail for a period of more than 5 years. इसकी फैमिली ने जो है कल हमें रिक्वेस्ट की कि आप मामले को जो है भारत सरकार के साथ एमईए के साथ टेकअप करें और इस पूरे प्रोसेस को एक्सपर्टाइज करें.
And ahead of Basant Panchami Amrit Snan at the ongoing Mahakumbh today, the UP government has ensured extensive preparations to ensure the safety and well-being of millions of devotees. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed all medical personnel in Mahakumbh Nagar and the surrounding areas to remain vigilant during the event. Basant Panchami marks the third and the final Amrit Snan at the Mahakumbh, with heightened security and medical readiness in place following the stampede tragedy at Sangam on January 29.
We have identified strategic points which need to be given more force, and the officers have been put there at specific points to enhance the security as well as traffic management.
And in a significant crackdown on drug cartels, Assam police have deployed poppy cultivation worth rupees 27 crore in the Golpada district. The destruction took place in various char areas of the district, targeting illegal poppy farming. According to the police data, the operation involved destroying poppy crops across 170 bighas of the land. The first phase of the destruction occurred between January 23 and 24 in Seetalmari, where 70 bighas were cleared. The second phase took place between January 30-31 in Seetalmari, covering around 100 bighas. And doctors at the Vaikom Taluk Hospital in Kerala had to stitch an 11-year-old boy's head injury using mobile phone light after a power cut on Saturday. The boy sustained serious injuries from a fall while preparing for the surgery. The power went out, leaving the doctors with no alternative but to rely on the light from their phones. A video of the incident has gone viral, sparking outrage among the child's parents and the public. The hospital staff explained that the backup generator often fails due to irregular diesel supply, leaving the hospital without emergency power. The incident has raised concerns over the hospital's preparedness, prompting an investigation into its infrastructure. And viewers, tracking the top stories from the business world today, we bring you the latest updates from India's economic landscape, from Ola Electric leading the two-wheeler market to Pakistan's economic growth stalled despite interest rates cuts. Stay tuned as we delve into these highlights. Bhavish Agarwal's Ola Electric regained its position as the leader in India's electric two-wheeler market in January 2025, overtaking long-standing competitors TVS Motors and Bajaj Auto in terms of scooter sales. This comeback follows a slip in December 2024 when Ola Electric lost its top spot to Bajaj Auto and TVS Motor amid rising competition in the growing e-scooter market. The Union Finance Minister tabled the Union Budget 2025 on February 1, making several announcements for the medical sector along with a magnanimous allocation of Rs 99,859 crore for the sector. While appreciating the advancements in the medical sector on the Union Budget, founder of Apollo Hospitals, Dr. Pratap C. Reddy, said that the 75,000 additional medical seats mean now more medical colleges and centers for excellence in an AI-driven medical system. He said that the budget has sentenced India's position as a global healthcare leader. And capital markets regulator SEBI has been thinking about coming out with a new mechanism to ensure secure and efficient payments in the securities market through UPI in order to distinguish legitimate financial intermediaries from fraudsters. Now, under this mechanism, SEBI has suggested creating a unique UPI address for registered market intermediaries, making it easier for investors to confirm that they are paying registered entities only. And Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that a committee will be set up under the National Manufacturing Mission to get into the details on issues like cutting cost of doing business, preparing future-ready workforce, and availability of technology to further promote Make in India initiative. Representatives from the centre, states, and the private sector are expected to be there in the committee. CBDT Chairman Ravi Agarwal said that the budget announcement of zero tax for earning up to rupees 12 lakh per annum and the rejig of tax slabs across the board should prompt more than 90% of individual taxpayers to embrace the new tax regime as compared to about 75% as of now. He said that the government's and the income tax department's philosophy and approach is to ensure a non-intrusive tax administration in the country through an enhanced usage of AI apart from the regular human intelligence gathering mechanism. And Pakistan failed to kickstart economic growth in the first 7 months of the current fiscal year, despite a massive 10% reduction in interest rate by the central bank during this period. The central bank, in the latest cut on January 27, further reduced the interest rate by 1% to set it at 12%, a whopping 10% down from 22% in June last year. Now moving on to our international segment, where we are tracking the global pulse of some of the biggest global headlines. Today we bring you significant developments from around the world, from Hezbollah group announcing Nasrallah's funeral to shoppers reacting to Trump's tariff order. Stay tuned as we unravel all these latest updates from around the world. As tariff war continues, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau warned that his country will place 25% tariffs on $155 billion in US imports in retaliation for Trump's imposition of tariffs on imports from Canada. Trudeau went all guns blazing and said that Canadian duties on $30 billion in trade in American alcohol and food will take effect Tuesday when the US tariffs go into effect. While giving a stern warning, Trudeau recalled the decade-old successful partnership and called for joining hands with Canada instead of imposing tariffs.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives.
An Israeli Prime Minister arrived in the United States to hold key meetings with President Donald Trump. The meeting comes as a fragile truce holds between Israel and Hamas in Gaza and between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Netanyahu asserted that they would discuss victory over Hamas achieving the release of Israeli hostages and dealing with the Iranian terror axis.
The decisions we made in the war have already changed the face of the Middle East. Our decisions and the courage of our soldiers have redrawn the map. But I believe that working closely with President Trump, we can redraw it even further and for the better. I believe that we can strengthen security, broaden the circle of peace, and achieve a remarkable era of peace through strength.
And U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with Panama's President Jose Raul Mulini and Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha on the opening stop of his foreign trip as America's top diplomat. The visit comes after Trump's increasing pressure over return of the Panama Canal. After arriving, Mulino said that there will be no negotiation with the U.S. over the ownership of the canal, provoking protests by the people of Panama. And Philadelphia mayor informed that 3 people are in critical condition after a jet crashed in a busy Philadelphia neighborhood, killing 7 people. A Mexico-bound air ambulance plummeted to the ground less than a minute after it had taken off from the northeast Philadelphia airport. As the investigation into the crash remains underway, Parker assured that officials were going door to door to seek information from neighborhood residents.
We can also confirm that there was at least one other person who perished, and that was the individual I referenced who was in the car. And there were additional victims who were injured, and they are being treated. We talked about it nearby hospitals, but that number has now increased to 22. 5 of the victims remain hospitalized currently, and 3 of them are in critical condition. We have not, out of respect for their families and their loved ones, shared the names of any of those who have been impacted.
And Lebanon's Hezbollah group announced that the funeral of its leader Nasrallah will take place on February 23, months after he was assassinated in a series of Israeli airstrikes in southern Beirut's suburb. Now, Secretary General Naim Qassem made the announcement of his predecessor Hassan Nasrallah, which comes days after a US brokered ceasefire agreement that ended the war between Lebanese terrorist group and Israel. And several people, including a Georgian opposition leader, were arrested during an anti-government rally in Tbilisi. Now, demonstrations have continued across the nation since November 28, when Georgia's Prime Minister announced that the country was halting EU accession talks. Dozens of protesters have been arrested and are facing criminal charges since the start of the demonstrations in November.
We have the protests on a daily basis in Georgia since the elections were rigged and since the current government changed the European political course. So since then we have the demonstrations in Georgia demanding the snap elections and releasing the political prisoners. 53 political prisoners are behind the bars, absolutely unlawfully. So till they are behind the bars, the Georgians' moral duty is to be on the street.
And Serbian students blocked a bridge over the river Danube in the northern city of Novi Sad for over 24 hours as part of their growing anti-graft movement, demanding major changes in the Balkan country. Dozens of farmers parked their tractors by the most Slobod or Freedom Bridge, saying that they wanted to guard the students from incidents and potential attacks by sympathizers of Serbia's president. The students demanded a thorough investigation, the publication of all documents related to the railway station renovation, and punishment for those responsible for the canopy collapse. The shoppers at a supermarket in the rural town of Pennsylvania reacted to Trump's move to impose tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. While some nodded their head in disapproval, some believed that it could help in solving problems America is facing in the long run. His tariffs against Canada and Mexico in order to stop illegal immigration and the illicit fentanyl trade have led to retaliatory taxes from both countries on US imports.
I think, yeah, initially it might not work out so well, but if we get our energy secured, if we get our energy down, I think it'll be all right. For the long run, I think it'll be okay. But initially, right now, you know, like Canada and Mexico, the tariffs on them are basically so that they can help us out with some of the fentanyl and some of the problems that are coming through. But I don't think the tariffs would be too bad.
And Japan launched a navigation satellite on its new flagship H3 rocket as the country seeks to have a more precise location positioning system of its own. The H3 rocket, carrying the Mitchell-Beakey 6 satellite, successfully lifted off from the Space Center on a southwestern Japanese island. Japan currently has the quasi-zenith satellite system with 4 satellites for a regional navigation system, and the Mitchell-Beakey 6 will be the 5th of its network. In a move towards precise global positioning capability, Japan plans to launch 2 more navigation satellites by March 2026 so that it doesn't have to rely on foreign services. Welcome back, viewers. It's time to dive into the world of sports with our segment dedicated to all the exciting highlights and exciting match-ups. Today, we bring you updates from the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup and more. Stay tuned. The Ranji Trophy quarter-final between Jammu and Kashmir against Kerala will be played at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium. The match has been relocated from its original venue in Srinagar due to potential weather concerns raised by the Jammu and Kashmir Cricket Association with the BCCI. India defeated South Africa in the finals of the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup. Defending champions, India also enjoyed an unbeaten campaign, winning all their group stage matches against West Indies, Malaysia and Sri Lanka. They continued their momentum in the Super 6, overcoming Bangladesh and Scotland. With a spot in the final at stake, India delivered a commanding performance against England, extending their winning streak to 6 games. And coming in for Shivam Dube as a concussion substitute in the 4th T20I against England, India did not pick Harshit Rana for the 5th T20I at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Harshit picked 3 wickets after coming in as a concussion replacement for Dube in Pune. Apart from not being picked, Harshit, India has also made one change to their starting 11 of the 4th T20I, with Arshdeep Singh missing out for Mohammad Shami. And Marcus Rashford was reportedly undergoing a medical examination at Aston Villa on Sunday ahead of a loan move from Manchester United, where he has fallen out with recently hired manager Ruben Amorim. Now, the move would be with a view to a permanent transfer for £40 million. Former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Rishi Sunak, attended the 5th T20I between India and England, which was played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Sunak also met India T20I captain Surya Kumar Yadav before the final match of the series. And Football Club Barcelona have defeated Deportivo Alaves in the La Liga match. Following the win, Barcelona cut down the gap to Real Madrid to 4 points in La Liga points table. Hosts India, backed by a passionate home crowd and a superior lineup, cruised past Togo 4-0 to secure a place in the Davis Cup 2025 World Group 1 playoffs at the DLTK complex on Sunday. Now, with the tie already decided in India's favour, the 5th and the final match will not be played. And Vidarbha's young left-arm spinner Harsh Dubey came up with an inspired show, grabbing 6 wickets as last year's runners-up consolidated their position at the top of Group B, defeating Hyderabad by 58 runs in the Ranji Trophy match. Hyderabad, who were out of the race for a quarter-final berth long back, were fancying their chances of defeating the already qualified Vidarbha and bowing out on a high. Alright, let's track some of the top stories from the entertainment industry for you now. Let's take a look. The brightest stars and the creatives in the music industry arrived at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles for the 67th Annual Grammy Awards. Beyoncé topped the list of most nominated artists with the songs from her country album Cowboy Carter garnering 11 nominations. Super Bowl halftime show headliner Kendrick Lamar had 7 nominations, tying with Charlie XCX, Billie Eilish and Post Malone. Taylor Swift had 6 nominations, tying her with Best New Artist contenders Sabrina Carpenter and Chappelle Roan. And as the stars arrived for the Critics Circle Film Awards in London, many reflected on whose opinions they really took to heart. Bond star Daniel Craig thought it was his family and friends who he listed, but also admitted that he does not read the published reviews as well. Fellow Actor for the Year nominee for his performance in Conclave, Ralph Fiennes, also admitted there was 1 or 2 close friends whose honesty and directedness he valued, but also confessed any actors likes to have their work positively received.
I suppose just your family, your friends, that's really all that matters, isn't it? I mean, of course the critics matter, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't read them. But really, it comes down to it. It's what your family like.
Large crowds watched dancers and drummers in London to celebrate the Lunar New Year. The Lunar New Year, known as the Spring Festival in China, Tet in Vietnam, and Seollal in Korea, is a major festival celebrated in several Asian countries. It begins with the first new moon of the lunar calendar and ends 15 days later on the first full moon. On the Lunar New Year, many visit temples to pray and attend temple fairs to watch performances and buy snacks, toys and other trinkets. Thousands of Serbian students staging a 24-hour blockade of the main bridge in Novi Sad turned to sports, games and other activities to pass the time in chilly temperatures. Volleyball, basketball and darts were being played as students spent the night in tents and sleeping bags in cold weather as part of their growing anti-graft movement demanding major changes in the Balkan country. Students said their activities were helping them keep spirits up through the protests, which have now reached almost 3 months. The protests were triggered by the November 1 collapse of a concrete canopy at the central train station in Novi Sad, killing 15 people. And that's a wrap on today's segment of Quick Morning, but don't go anywhere. Republic will be back with the latest headlines from across the nation and around the world.